Okay, good morning students. Today in this zoology class of class 10, we'll discuss about the session 2 of control and coordination chapter. In control and coordination chapter, there are firstly nervous system, after that hormones. That means our control and coordination is mainly maintained by two systems. One is nervous system, which is already in session 1 discussed, but one left which we discuss in this session 2, and also hormones. Okay, so today in this session 2 of control and coordination chapter, we will discuss about the reflex action and also the hormone system, both. And this within this session, the chapter will be finished. Okay, so let's start. Firstly, you see reflex action in human. What is reflex action? So we know in the previous session 1 we have already discussed the how nervous system works. What is nerves? What is nerves? That means neuron cells join together one by one, which will able to carry the signal in the form of carry any type of stimulus, carry in the form of impulse to the brain. Okay, brain will decide what you should do. Okay, brain through another nerve which is called the motor nerve goes to the muscles or effector. So anytime immediately muscle contracts, your movement occurs. So like that, what will happen? These are by the nervous system, brain, spinal cord, and nerve arising from them. But sometimes what happens, due to some emergency situation to protect the body. Okay, every information goes to the brain through the nerves, sensory nerves. But sometimes in an emergency situations, to protect the body for major injury, without the involvement of the brain also, without the involvement of the brain, spinal cord protect the body. How it is possible? Because information not able to go to the brain. If it will go to the brain, it will take time, more injury may take place. So at that time, spinal cord performs the functions by doing some movement of the body or another fast action. Okay, by doing movement. For example, what is reflex action? That means without the involvement of the brain, those quick action going on in our body to protect from the major injury or another in emergency conditions. Suppose unknowingly your hand goes to the burning candle. This is your hand. Unknowingly goes to a burning candle. You sometimes say, oh, we escaped from major injury. But at that time what happens? You see, suppose your hand is a what happened? Their skin is a receptor. There are several eyes is a receptor. So eyes there, optic nerve goes to the brain. Skin is a receptor. Okay, skin is a larger sense organ. So it receives the all type of actually which are going on surrounding environment. The skin receives. So what if the skin burning candle goes unknowingly you don't know, goes immediately off. Why? Because that skin there, what will happen? You see, sensory nerve, this one sensory nerve, the skin receptor, it receives the sense of burn and immediately it goes up to spinal cord level, not goes to the brain. It's an emergency, otherwise the body will burn. So what will happen? Sensory nerve, that signal of burn goes to the spinal cord. It's not able to go to brain. And spinal cord, inside the vertebra, this is the vertebra. Okay, inside the vertebral column, spinal cord is present. So what will happen? This is the spinal cord inner side. This is the vertebral column. So what will happen? Spinal cord there, this one you see, the sensory nerve goes inside, passes the sense, and in the spinal cord, there is another relay neuron present. From this point to this point, again it connects to the another nerve, which is called the motor nerve. This is a sensory nerve, receives the signal and passes it to the spinal cord. After that, for the motor nerve, it goes to the effector organ, that is muscle, and immediate muscle contract, and you escape from the major injury. If that signal goes to the brain, it will have more time will take and it will major injury may take place. So that's why body is such type of emergency, such type of action is going on, which is called a reflex action. And this is the arc. The spinal sensory nerve goes to the spinal cord, again through the interneuron or relay neuron, This signal gives to the motor neuron, motor point, and motor nerve goes to the effector organ, and thus effector organ means muscles. Muscle will contract, you immediately hand back and able to escape from the major injury. So this part is called as a reflex arc, ARC, and the system is called as the reflex action without the involvement of the brain. Because if you got the information goes to the brain, it will take more time, more injury. Such type of actions provided by our nervous system is called as the reflex action without the involvement of the brain. Only the effector organ and spinal cord level by sensory and motor nerve is called as the reflex action. The arc is path is called reflex arc. Okay, this is the reflex arc. So, like suppose you are playing a card. At the time, immediately our have suppose something in front of the card. Immediately our leg goes to the brain. That is also reflex. Immediately goes. Otherwise, accident may take place. Knee jerks, salivation by seeing that these are the reflex. Okay, you are become hungry anytime. These are only the reflex going on. So, with the reflex action is provided by the spinal cord with the help of sensory and motor nerve. Okay, and thus emergency situation we may escape, and when emergency situation we can adjust. Okay, that is about the reflex. After reflex action, your nervous system over. So control and coordination, nervous system, that means our body control and coordination among the internal organs and also outside environment by two systems. One is the nervous system, another is the chemical, that is the hormone. So nervous system up to reflex action over. Okay, now go to the hormones in animals. Hormone is what's happening, you see. Hormones nothing but the chemicals. Hormones are also called as the chemical messenger. It also carry message, chemicals secreted by specific glands called as the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. N-D-R-O-C-R-I-N-E glands. Endocrine glands. Okay, these are the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands. These are also called as the ductless glands. Ductless glands, that means endocrine glands does not have any ducts. Suppose salivary glands, they have a specific duct which secretes directly goes to the, okay. Others, suppose pancreas, pancreatic duct. But endocrine glands does not have any ducts. So it is also called a ductless glands, whose secretion directly goes to the blood. Circulation, and specific hormone or specific chemicals, it is called the chemical messenger, react on the specific target organs. Okay, it will goes in the float in the blood, and only the specific target organ it will react and create their changes. So your growth, development, your life processes maximum are going on chemical coordination by the hormones. Okay, hormones always, from the birth to till death it works. You're suppose hungry going on, your everything, there is a gastric hormone, your tendency, when gastric hormone release, you are immediately, gastric hormone initiates by the their inner side of the gastric layer, their gastric hormones when secreted. Okay, then what will happen? Immediately your gastric juices releases and your tendency goes to eat. So like that, your tendency already your stomach releases, and if the food you will swallow, immediately digestion starts in the stomach because that is a gastric hormone. Like that, your what will happen? Your several type of your growth hormone, various type of chemicals secreted by the different endocrine glands present in our body. Firstly, we will discuss about the number one, pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, there are different type of glands present in our body. Firstly, from the brain, there mainly you should know pituitary gland. One in the forebrain here, you see this one, forebrain. In the forebrain cerebrum, there is a such small rounded structures. There are also three lobes. Okay, this is by a stalk it is attached. Small stalk it is attached a round structure. This is called a pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, it is called a master of gland because maximum hormones are secreted by this, well protected inside the forebrain. So what will happen? Pituitary gland will stuck there, through which it attached to the forehead. This is called the hypothalamus. That is also endocrine. It also secretes hormones. Another also brain present there is the pineal glands. Pineal glands. It also secretes hormones. Okay, chemicals. There in the neck region you see there is a thyroid glands. It also secretes hormones. Later on will tell the name. Next in there is a thyroid glands. That means in the trachea, larynx, trachea. There both sides there is a pair of thyroid gland. Then lower part of the thyroid gland you will able to see the parathyroid gland. Then in the higher thymus gland, it is also endocrine. It also secretes hormones. Then also in see pancreas. Pancreas we know it secretes both hormones and pancreatic juice. Hormones and pancreatic juice. Okay, endocrine and exocrine both. Okay. Next you see upper part of the east kidney. Upper part of the east kidney there is a cap-like structure. One gland secretes, which is called the adrenal gland, which also secretes hormones. Then in the male and female, which are those are their puberty or sex hormone secreted. There is in case of male, one pair of testes present. Testis secretes the male sex hormone, and in case of females, ovary secretes the female sex hormone, which due to which the puberty occurs, maturity occurs, and for everything reproductive life hormones. But testis in case of male, and in case of female, ovary. Now, what are the hormones? Secondly, you see hormones. The very little amount is needed to create the changes, but these hormones always to the specific amount. More or less, if more secreted, then also create problem. Yes, hyper. And if less, then also hypo or deficiency disease occurs. Okay. And first point, whatever hormones should be always released in a proper amount. Okay. If more, then hyperactivity. That is also disorder, and low, then also hypo secretion also create problem, which are called the deficiency disease. And second point is second characters of hormones is what? Always feedback mechanism is maintained. Okay. For example, suppose later on I will tell your name of the hormones. Suppose we know maximum know this. Pancreas cases the insulin hormone. Insulin. Why insulin needed? Insulin regulates the blood sugar level. Hormones function is to regulate the several type of metabolic activities. Regulate. So insulin regulates what? Blood sugar level. Suppose in your food or in your blood more amount of sugar increases, then insulin secretion also more. Okay, insulin hormones also production increases because it regulates the sugar level. But if in your body blood or in your body sugar level decreases, then insulin secretion also stops gradually. Okay, it also secretion also gradually. That is called the feedback mechanism. So hormones always maintains feedback mechanism. It's hyper and hypo also create problem. It always should be in the proper amount, directly released to the blood, and it always through the blood it goes to the target organs and create their changes. Now let's know about the hormones which are released by the different type of endocrine glands present in a human body. Number one, so pituitary gland. Pituitary gland pituitary gland, it releases several type of hormones you will know, but in your book not all are present. Okay, you see firstly you should know it. Growth hormone. Your growth from the childhood to up to adult age, those growth is maintained by the growth hormone released by the pituitary gland. Okay, if the deficiency takes place in the childhood, then the dwarfism takes place. The child becomes dwarf. That is the deficiency. If the hyper, then the person becomes gigantism. Another several hormone, FSH, okay, SMS, several type of hormones, but simply the growth hormones, the pituitary gland. But maximum hormones are somatotropic hormone, several type of hormones, follicular stimulating hormone, FSH. So all these are secreted by the pituitary glands. Okay, but in your book only the growth hormones is present. Deficiency, dwarfism, hyper, gigantism. Next you see hypothalamus. Those pituitary gland attached with a stalk to the forebrain, that is called the hypothalamus. That stalk also endocrine. He is also secretes the hormones. The hypothalamus hormones are what? Gonadotropin releasing hormone. That means when this hormone released to the blood, the gonad, that means reproductive organ, start to produce gametes or reproducing cells. So that's why gonadotropin released When released in the blood, that means maturity, sexual maturity will start in that person, in that male or female, that starts with the help of gonadotropin. Such as the thyrotropin releasing hormone, thyroid, how much amount of the thyroid will be released, that is also dependent by thyroid. Corticotropin released, but such like our hormones are released by the hypothalamus. Okay. Next, the pineal gland. Pineal gland also, that means in the brain, in the cerebrum, for hindbrain, there is a pineal gland which secretes a melatonin. Melatonin hormone actually maintains our sleep. So how much your sleeping tendency, how much your sleep time, everything is maintained by the melatonin. But a very interesting point you see, your pituitary gland present in your both, hypothalamus, pineal gland is a name you know, and also read, okay. But these are not fully function, they are mentioning, only the name mentioning, their hormones all are not mentioned by your book, but still also you should know the name and hormones. Okay. Next, very important, that is also thyroid gland. Pituitary gland very important. Then also you see thyroid gland. Thyroid gland also very important. This one present in the neck region. Where situated? You should know perfectly this location. And hormones and hypo and hypersecretion. So what happens? Neck region, one pair of thyroid gland present. You know, thyroid gland secretes thyroxine. Okay, but thyroid gland needs iodine to secrete but to produce thyroxine. Need iodine to produce thyroxine. Thyroxine is very important to which maintains the carbohydrate, proteins and fat metabolism regulation, due to which the growth occurs properly according to the age. Okay, that's a thyroid maintains carbohydrate, proteins and fat regulation, due to which the according to age you will receive the proper growth and development. So very important, but iodine is needed. If iodine deficiency in the diet, what will happen? Thyroxine production less. Then what will happen? Neck swells up, thyroid gland swells up, which is called as the goiter. And hyper exophthalmic growth, that means bulges eyes, more growth, salivation going on, abdominal district is the hyper, more amount of if secrete a higher thyroxine is secreted. Okay. Next you see the parathyroid gland. Thyroid gland lower part, one pair of parathyroid gland also present. It also secretes the parathormones, which regulates the calcium ions. Calcium, otherwise the body pain. Okay, bone pains, occurs, bone pains. Parathormone, parathyroid gland. But in your book, not only the name also present, hormones not are present. But you should know, thymus gland, that is present in the heart, which secretes the thymosin. Thymosin is very much important because your immunity is provided by the B and T cells. Their several type of activity is controlled by the thymosin hormone. That means indirectly direct to the immunity. Thymus gland. Then you know pancreas. Pancreas, you know, pancreas what will happen, you know, inner cell, they secretes their alpha, beta, gamma cells, these are present, which secretes the insulin and glucagon hormone. Insulin hormone very much essentially because it regulates the glucose. Okay, it regulates the glucose level in the blood. If more amount, then insulin also production more. It is the normal way. And if the deficiency of this hormone, diabetes mellitus occurs. You know diabetes mellitus. Whereas at that time, doctor suggests they take less amount of sugar. Okay, always, because then also extra insulin also provided. Otherwise, glucose level will not control in the blood. It will rise, which creates several type of diseases. Okay, several type of organ will damages, kidney, eyes, gradually all will be heart, all will be damaged. That's why extra insulin doctor provides to maintain or to control the blood sugar level. Okay, very much important. Pancreas. Next you see adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, that means present over the kidney as a cap-like structure. Adrenal gland, what happens? It is also called an emergency hormone. So any type of fear, any type of emergency, suppose a tiger, any type of fear, immediately what are body ready to run away. Also emergency situation, adrenaline hormone. Okay, adrenaline hormone give the emergency situation, prepare the body to what you should do. So run when the immediately hormone releases, your muscle contract and you should go run. Adrenaline and non-adrenaline hormone released by the adrenal gland, present over the kidney. Next you see testis in male and ovary in female. Testis in the male, one pair of testis present, the lower abdomen part, they are inside the scrotum. What is the? So they secrete the testosterone. So in the male, when mature at 13-14 age, they shows the some male characters. Why? because due to the secretion of the testosterone hormone by a testis. So male character, voice changes, mustache develops, arms. So like the male character Sylvia and starts the production of male gamete sperms. So what will happen? These are due to the testosterone hormone. Males, one pair of testis, secret testis. Like in the female, there is a one pair of ovary present, which releases the hormone, what? Estrogen. Estrogen, due to which the estrogen in female, 11 to 12 years, there what will after that? For puberty, female sexual character, menstrual cycle starts. Okay, another sexual, secondary sexual characters will appear in the body due to the estrogen. So these are endocrine glands secretes the hormones which maintains the chemical coordination, control and coordination among the internal organ and also surrounding environment, due to which the human will be able to survive in this environment. So very much essential, okay, because our control and coordination maintained by two systems. One is by the nerve, so the impulse, chemical. Second is the chemical, that is the what? Hormones. By releasing directly into the blood, changing the target. Okay, that's about the your chapter 7 control and coordination. Okay, any question you may ask. There are two session 1 and session 2. This within these 2 sessions, the chapter becomes chapter is finished. And any question you have, you may ask. Okay, thank you.